Hello, my ether friends. I have glowy hands here today. Welcome to my True North and your second chakra for the meditation. There's going to be a short introduction here to your knees before we get into the meditation. So I suggest you listen to this once, and then you can come back and listen to just the meditation by just clicking the link in the description box down below. So the knee chakra is very much, I find, a connection, is almost like a bridge between very much connected to your feet, but also very much connected to your hips, like to your root. And when when your knee chakra is out of balance, out of alignment, even blocked, you're going to start to have pain in your physical knees. You're going to start to have pain when you feel like life is out of order, like really out of order. You're going to start to feel it in your knees. Your knees is about flexibility. If you think about the knee, you can dangle your feet or your legs, right? It's because the knee is there to enable that. And when you stay a little bit too rigid, like if you become a little bit rigid, a little bit stubborn, proud, like I'm not going to move from this center, I'm not going to cave to anything that doesn't like feel really, really good to me. There's a stubbornness there. Even though it might not work for you and you still hold that stubbornness, you're going to start to feel it in your knees. If it travels even deeper, I find that my wrists, I don't really find this information anywhere, but I find that my wrists, like back in the day when I really was down and out and I really had no direction in life. I didn't know where I wanted to go. I didn't have a purpose. I didn't have like a true north. I didn't know where to go. My wrists start, like I would feel it in my knees. I would somewhat feel it in my hips. And then I would go to my wrists, like I would really start to like have pain in my wrists, and I just did this to it was just a constant chronic pain there. And then I knew like, ooh, now it's really bad. Like now I have to start to listen. Like when my wrists get going, it's like, okay, just drop everything, go into meditation and just start to listen, because now when the wrists are talking, yeah. So off balance is like when you find yourself not too much going with the flow, when it's very rigid, like I said, when you feel off balance and when you feel like you have no direction. The feet is a link between still like very much Mother Earth, very much with your feet, very much anchored in. So if you're off balance, you could still feel like unrooted or ungrounded, or feeling like you don't really know where you belong. And that you will get more of that in the root chakra. Like if you feel like you have an unbalanced root chakra, it's also very much like, I don't know where home is. I don't know where my base is. And so I think that we're getting a little bit of like the feet and a little bit of the root, like the knees just sitting right in between, like a link. And when you are in the flow of this, when you get balance around your knee chakra, you are flexible. Like whatever life throws at you, you're really like a really good co-worker, co-partner in crime. Like you really are, like life throws this at you. Okay, then I'm just going to be flexible with that. Or this happens, then we're going to be very flexible with that. If there's new ideas that are thrown at you and you sort of decided that you're going to do something, maybe you need a minute or two. Like you're not a robot, but maybe you need a minute or two. But then soon enough, you're quite flexible in changing your mind. Like it's easy for you to like go in a different direction, to just follow where it feels easy. You don't follow something just because you said so. You follow it because it feels like it. That's flexibility. That's going where it feels the most easy. That's when you feel your overall life is in balance. Like it's a good, like you look out in your relationships, in your money, in your purpose, friends, like whatever that is for you, you feel like a steady flow and you feel like an overall balance. That's a really good in balance knee chakra. So we're going to focus there today on getting this movement going, this disc that I talked about around the feet. We're going to move that around our knees like as a disc, and that goes, is not as big, like the feet and the knees I find is not as big as the main ones, the bigger ones that we're getting to next week, the root chakra, for instance. But they're really, really important chakras, and I would play with it. So you can do this the first day today here as well. Like, you just listen to me guiding you. I will do the 5 breaths in. I will hold for 5, and I will breathe out for 5, all through your nose. And I won't go as long as I did for the feet. We will go a little bit shorter because you know how to do this now. And then like the second or the third day to maybe just release these, release the meditation from me completely and just do your own meditation where you go into deep breaths. And I've gotten some questions about, do I have to breathe in on 5 and have to breathe out on 5? No, you don't have to. There's no rule book here. The point is, don't breathe in on 1 or 2. And perhaps in the very beginning, if we were aiming for like breathing in for 10, you would stop doing it by day 3 because it's just, you would just constantly not be able to do it. And then when we not find something that is really tough to do, we don't find it fun, we tend to quit. So a 5 is just really good in, it's not too short and it's not too long. But if you want to do 4, if you want to do 6, if you want to drop the counting altogether, because the counting is also a way to occupy your mind. To occupy your mind so that your mind doesn't go to normal habits or normal routine and thinking about stuff that you're going to do later or think about what people said in the past. But you have your mind occupied as you do these countings. Like you don't give it a moment to rest or to wander off. And if you're just sort of holding your mind occupied like that, you're freeing your body up and you're starting to free your chakras up. That's why partly why we do the counting as well. But if you feel like comfortable with it, if you want to breathe in and breathe out in your own pace, in your own counting, and just focus on the chakra itself, and your mind doesn't wander, then that's brilliant. That's beautiful. Sometimes we can just also just put the intention. You just want to put the intention on your knees. And as you focus your intention on your knees and know that the knees is the chakra that we're now thinking about working with, you can drop the knees altogether. We just know now this week is knees. It's everybody is doing knees, okay? And it's about flexibility. It's about going with the flow. It's about balance. And so if you want to sort of just focus on that, set that intention, and then drop the chakra altogether and just focus on your breathing, you can do that as well. There's no right or wrong here. This is something that I have come to understand works best for me to occupy my mind, to free up the body and to free up the chakras, and simultaneously start to have a connection with the chakras as well. And then also the 9 minutes, like I love the 9 minutes, but also when you're getting good at this, you can extend it. And when you still, even though you know you're going to sit down for 20 minutes or you're going to sit down for 21 minutes or 27 minutes or whatever, and you still do it, I think that 9 minutes tells our brain, I have 9 minutes. I can do 9 minutes. I think that shorter than the 9 minutes 3 minutes does wonders. If you have to choose between 0 minutes and 3 minutes, I would do 3 minutes every day. But if we're gonna get somewhere with this, I think that 9 minutes sort of is a minimum to get stuff going. But it also tells the brain that you have 9 minutes. And if we would have started like with 20 or 30 minutes to do this, there's people that already are gonna find the excuse that they don't have that type of time. But 9 minutes, everybody has. So you probably have found that you have 9 minutes and then you keep adding a couple of minutes. But if you were to start with 15, 18, 21, 30 minutes from the start, you might never find it. So that's the reason also. You can extend the 9 minutes. You can do whatever you want. This is just sort of an intro. It's a basis. It's a core for each chakra. And then you elaborate or play around to whatever works and fits for you. You know, there's no going wrong in trying. And one day you try something new and you find that didn't work at all, then do something new the next day. Okay, so I will set up my phone here for 9 minutes, and I will guide you. And like I said, I won't follow you too much. I will start the breathing process, but then I will move into and focus more on the knees this time. I will talk a little bit more about the knees, how you can feel your knees and be around your knees. And then I will give you a little bit of a quiet time as well. As you have found, 9 minutes goes really fast. So you can pause this video. Did you drink half a liter of water before you started? I urge you to go do that. I urge you to stop this video and go drink that water before we start. It's so much easier for the energy to travel through water in your body. And if you sort of just had a cup of coffee before you started this, you're even more on the drain side. So that's not going to help your body. So I urge you to drink a little bit of water before we start. And then if you're ready, we'll begin. So, welcome to the meditation of your knees. I suggest and inspire you to close your eyes and just really sit with your body. Feel where you're at. Feel where you're sitting, preferably with your feet on the ground, where you can feel your knees. If you want to lay down, that's fine too, if you don't fall asleep. And then we're just going to start to put an intention. We're going to work with our knees today. We're in our knee chakra. So we're in the energy field around the knees, and we're in our physical knees as well. And so just start to breathe in on 5. So in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. And out, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. And hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now you just continue to breathe slowly in, slowly holding, and slowly out as you start to talk about your knees. So you continue to breathe, and simultaneously you put your mind on your knees. Feel your knees. If you can put your hands on your knees and give them love. Continue to breathe. Preferably put your hands on your knees. If you can't, that's fine. And just hold your hands over your knees, and immediately, with not even helping it, you're going to start to send love through your hands to your knees. Picture your knee chakra. Picture it being really beautiful, really stable, in big balance. You just see this disc that I've been talking about, this disc that's swirling around your knees, where it goes 1 meter outside of your knees, where it goes 2 meters outside of your knees, where it goes 3 meters outside of your knees. So that's about 10 feet outside of your knees. And you can sort of go in and make it smaller, and you can go out and make it bigger, and you can have it be quite stable. It doesn't really matter what speed it is. This is not a focus on how fast or slow it goes. It doesn't even matter if it wobbles a little bit, goes a little bit up and down like an old record. But if you want to get it steady, you can look at it as being really steady and in balance, and it has a beautiful rhythm around your knees, and your knees are so flexible and they're so malleable and they're so easy and soft. And just sit with your knees for a bit and adore them, send love to them, send respect to them. And I'm leaving you to your own for a little bit. And continue to breathe in slowly and hold slowly and breathe out slowly as I talk about your knee chakra. And I want you to picture your knees having like a anchor, like a connection with your feet. So if there's a little rope that goes out from the sides of the knees down to your feet, or if there are threads like sewing threads, or if there's anything else that you find is the most suiting connection between your knees and your feet. You can still move around. It's not so strengthened that you can't bend your knees or that you can't walk straight, but there's just almost like this invisible connection between your knees and your feet. Like your feet and knees are really happy that they found each other. They made that connection. They can rely on each other. Sometimes your knees needs a little bit of rest, and then the feet comes in more, and then your feet needs a little bit of rest, and then your knees comes in more. And then you do the same thing upwards. So you see the connection between your knees and your root. So think about it somewhere around your hips. This is a preparation for the root chakra as well. But it's a connection. You see it as almost like an invisible thread that goes from your outside of your knees, and it just connects with your hips. See a thread that goes in between there so that we feel a connection, like it's all connected and we can rely on each other. And then we're going back to the knee chakra and just focus on the knees and just again see that beautiful record or that disc just swirling around as stable as you can find it. And it just relaxes your knees. It just brings such ease to your knees. It brings flexibility to your knees. Your knees can breathe. They have room. There's space. It's flow. It's flexibility. If there's any type of pain in your knees, it's going to slowly disappear. Sometimes we can see almost like cotton, like there's cotton that shows up, like white, beautiful, soft cotton around your knees, which makes it easier for your knees to just soften and become more flexible. But The main focus is on the already balance. It's already balanced. It's such a beautiful chakra. And we're sending lots and lots of love to it. Respect to our knees. They're just so willing to be flexible and take us in whatever direction we tell them to go in. And continue to breathe in slowly and hold slowly and breathe out slowly. And simultaneously we think about those beautiful knees, the beautiful chakra, the beautiful disc, how it's connected to your feet, how it's connected to your hips or to your root. It's a big collaboration. And we're slowly going to come out of this